Hi, I'm Mihai, and today we're looking at top 20 most played board games so far in 2023. We're on BoardGameGeek and we're looking at log plays from January through August, and I've sorted by unique users. So first up by a long shot is Wingspan. Wingspan is a game about collecting birds, and in order to collect them you need to feed them. It has a dice tower in the form of a birdhouse. You use these dice to collect food. Here are the food tokens. And with the food you get the birds from the central display and place them on your board. And they give you special actions and endgame points. And they can also lay eggs, which you can use during the game or for endgame scoring. It's a medium difficulty game, you can play it with younger people, and the game looks absolutely gorgeous on the table. It's number 2 on the family games list, and no wonder it's so popular even though it's been published in 2019. It's got 170 unique cards designed after real-world birds, so that's Wingspan at number 1. At number 2 we've got Ark Nova, which is a huge box. You can see the cute animals. This is a heavy strategy game where each player runs a zoo, but also runs conservation projects to help animals in the wild. And I find it works best at 2 or 3 players. So that's number 2, Ark Nova. At number 3 we've got the light abstract game Azul. In Azul you collect these stones and cover your board with them in the most optimal way. Abstract games don't have much story, but they usually have very few rules, they're quick to play and quite thinky. So that's number 3, Azul. At number 4 we've got another abstract game, Cascadia. In Cascadia we collect landscape and place animals on it. You collect these landscape tiles to build your tableau. There are 5 kinds of animals and each landscape tile can only host a few of those. Each kind of animal has a card that explains how you can get points by placing this animal in specific ways. So it becomes more of a puzzle to figure out how to place all the animals so that you can get as many points as possible for each one of them. So that's number 4, a medium light abstract family game, Cascadia. At number 5 we've got the strategy game Dune Imperium. I'm sure many people are familiar with the Dune universe, perhaps you've read the books or seen the movie, and if you're a fan of the universe, well, the card art here is inspired from the actual movie. The main board depicts the planet of Arrakis, also known as Dune, the only planet that can produce spice. It's a game about hard decisions. Should you send your people to fight now or keep them for later, buy more cards, get more influence, play some intrigue? Now, Dune Imperium is a more recent game, but there is an older one called Dune, which is very different, requires many players and takes a very long time. Now luckily this one is much shorter, but it probably still needs 3 or 4 players. There are already 2 expansions out for this game, and luckily I was able to fit them both in this core box. So that's number 5, Dune Imperium. At number 6 we've got another strategy game, Terraforming Mars. In this game we've reached Mars, but surprisingly the planet is not habitable. Each player runs a corporation that tries to help terraform the planet and maybe get rich in the meantime. You heat up the planet to melt the ice into oceans, use plants to raise the oxygen level, and build cities for people. This is an engine building game where you pay for these cards to place them in your tableau, and they will each round give you more income or give you some special ability. And by the end of the game you're probably gonna have a lot of cards. Well, maybe not this many. This game has a gazillion expansions. I was able to fit everything inside, but as you can see it doesn't quite close. So that's number 6, the medium heavy strategy game Terraforming Mars. And by the way, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. At number 7 comes the medium strategy game Lost Ruins of Arnak, another huge box. In this game, players explore this uncharted island, find lost artifacts and discover its secrets. This is a very beautiful game, ideally for 2 or 3 players, even though you can play 4 or even 1 with the latest expansion. What stands out for me is this track at the bottom. Here it is. You've got this magnifying glass representing your exploration and you want to further it up the track. For each level you have to pay specific resources, so you have to plan ahead how to get the right resources at the right time. Now, once you explore something, you write it in your journal, and that's the other token at the bottom that also has to be moved ahead on the track. And each time you advance, you get more bonuses and more points for the end game. There's a lot of experience packed in the core box, but I also have the first expansion which gives each player a special player board with some special abilities. I can barely fit everything in here. So that's Lost Ruins of Arnak at number 7. At number 8 we've got the game Earth. This is the first game in the list published in 2023, and I just got this copy today and can't wait to try it out. In Earth, you grow your ecosystem of flora, fauna and terrain. This is mainly a card game where you build this 4x4 grid of cards, and I'll tell you more once I play it. This is also the highest ranked 2023 game on BoardGameGeek, and as number 8, the medium weight strategy game Earth. At number 9, we've got the first racing game, Hit Pedal to the Metal. You can see how happy this guy is. In Hit, up to 6 players race on this track to determine who's the best pilot. The game comes with 4 tracks that you can play individually, or all of them one after the other in a big championship. This is a medium light game, so the whole family can have fun playing, and ideally you'd go as fast as possible, but there's a catch: you have to slow down at corners. But you'll be fine. Just manage your stress, don't spin at corners, and don't overheat your engine. So that's Hit Pedal to the Metal at number 9. At number 10, we've got 7 Wonders Duel. This is a 2-player only medium light strategy card game. The cards are placed like this in predefined shapes, and some of them are face down. You can only buy cards that are not covered by other cards, and as you buy them, more and more cards become available for purchase. This is the 2-player version of the very popular 7 Wonders game, which plays with a lot of players but wasn't that good with 2. And as number 10, 7 Wonders. At number 11, we've got the medium weight strategy game Everdell. Here players help critters in the forest. Players gather resources and build cards in their tableau, and the trick here is to figure out how to make combos and play as many actions as possible before the season is over. And of course everything looks super cute. That's number 11, Everdell. At number 12, we've got the backbuilding family game, the Quacks of Quedlinburg. In this game, players pretend to be doctors, they make some potions and try to sell them to customers, although the customers might figure out that something's fishy. We've got this huge cauldron in the middle, and you make your poison by drawing ingredients from your bag. Make sure you draw the right ones. And if you manage to sell your potion, you'll have more money to buy better ingredients for next time. And that's the family game Quacks of Quedlinburg at number 12. The 13th most played game in 2023 is Splendor. This is a light family game that uses those heavy poker chips at the bottom. They're not really poker chips, they just have the same size and shape. They're gem chips. And you collect these gems to buy cards, and the cards give you permanent gems, which make it easier to buy more expensive cards that give you points at the end of the game. And you can get even more points if you're the first one to have a specific combination of cards. And that's Splendor, a fun and easy family game at number 13. At number 14, we've got the tiny light family game Scout. In this game, each player is dealt a hand of cards that they need to get rid of, but the trick is they cannot change the order of the cards in their hand. However, they can flip the whole hand upside down because each card has 2 different values. And you want to be the first one to get rid of all your cards by playing them in a specific way. So that's number 14, the quick game Scout. At number 15, we've got the game Carcassonne, of which I don't have the original box anymore, but it's basically tiles and meeples. And I found these cute stickers for my meeples. This is a medium light family game that plays best with 2 players, but you can play more. When it's your turn, you draw a tile and place it on this grid so that all the touching sides match. In this way you build roads and cloisters and fortresses. And afterwards you place a meeple there to claim the area and get points later when it's finished, unless someone else claimed it before you. And what's special about this game is that it was published in the year 2000, that's 23 years ago, and it's still one of the most played board games. This plays ages 7 and up, and it's got a bazillion expansions, but my favorite ones are expansion 1 Inns and Cathedrals, and expansion 2 Traders and Builders. And there are many others to try out. So that's number 15, Carcassonne. Coming up at number 16, we've got a medium lightweight family game, Flamecraft. In this game, players are flame keepers. I haven't played this one, but I can tell you one thing, it's got dragons. So that's number 16, Flamecraft. Coming up at number 17, the 2-player game, Patchwork. I've got here the German version. This is a quick and light abstract family game where you win by making the most aesthetic patchwork quilt. And the way it goes is there are these tiles in a circle and you pick one and it's gonna cost you an amount of time to place it on your quilt. So you have to balance how many points they give you with how long it takes to add them. And both players have the same amount of time, so you need to figure out how to best optimize the way you pick your tiles to have the more points at the end. And this game is super easy to learn, like these are all the rules. So that's the quick game Patchwork at number 17. The number 18 most played game in 2023 is Brass Birmingham. This is the newer edition of the game Brass by Martin Wallace. But most importantly, this is number 1 strategy game and number 1 overall ranked game on BoardGameGeek. Brass Birmingham is a very heavy and very rewarding strategy game, although it can be quite unforgiving. This game is set in the Industrial Revolution era and players are competing entrepreneurs in the area of Birmingham. They mine iron coal and build industry to produce and export goods. What's special about this game is that it plays in 2 eras, and in the first era you build canals for transport, but in the second era the railways are invented and suddenly all the canals and some of the more rudimentary factories suddenly become obsolete. And if you're not careful you might start the second era with nothing on the board. Each player has this research board, they can start building the less efficient buildings or they can research to get to the more advanced, more valuable buildings faster. And that's the heavy economic strategy game Brass Birmingham at number 18. And at number 19 we've got the medium heavy strategy game Scythe. This is an alternate history engine building game where robots are fighting where farmers are farming. This is a medium heavy game for up to 5 players and you're gonna need a big table. So that's Scythe at number 19. And finally at number 20 we've got a party game Just One, and I've got here the Romanian version because you need to play it in your native language. This is a cooperative game, so all players work together to gain as many points as possible. It's a guessing game and one player draws a card and without looking at it picks a number from 1 to 5 and that will be the word they have to guess. Then each player secretly writes on their board one single word. And these will all be hints for the player who has to guess the original word. But if multiple people write the same word, then that word will get removed, making it much harder for the person to guess. So that's the simple and fun party game Just One at number 20. Alright, thanks for watching and let me know what's your favorite game you had fun playing recently. Bye bye.